Hello YouTubers, Troz here, back with more Zero to Satisfactory, and you should notice some changes at the factory here. In fact, beyond the top of the factory there, you may notice a few more things over here. So, yeah, last time we got the jetpack and the gas mask and went exploring, and in fact I did quite a bit more exploring after the end of that episode. In fact, let's show you that here while using the jetpack to get down. So I collected 13 green power slugs, 5 yellow power slugs, 3 purple power slugs. Now, some of them that was part of the exploring I did, but I also got 12 hard drives. I think 2 of them were in the video, the other 10 weren't. And also a few Mercer spheres and Sommer loops that don't have any purpose right now. But after I got back, and I did actually die a few times, but I was able to get my body each time. Is actually I'm not seeing it at the moment, but there should be at least one. Not that I didn't recover a body, but like I built another jetpack just to get back to my body, and so the jetpack was left in the little container. I don't think they despawned, but maybe I did just take it out of the container and put it down on the floor, because like at that point my inventory was completely full of stuff. Anyhow, so I came back and kind of laid out my plan for supercomputers, which is one of the last things I have to build and research. And actually, speaking of research, I think I thought I had left this analyzing a hard drive, but let's stick a hard drive in there now. Let's just put all the hard drives in my inventory. Because basically this will unlock additional recipes. And they, for the most part, seem super useful. I also have actually like researched, well, almost all the recipes. This is one I haven't researched. But let's do that now. I do have the wire. I need some plastic. As you can see, the plastics actually stopped moving, and that's because our computer production on the first floor actually has all backed up because we're filling a chest with it. You know, not a chest, but a storage container is now all full of computers, but we're actually not going to be using those in the supercomputer production. I'm assuming the computers will be used for further unlocks and possibly in more advanced machines. So we'll use the first floor to produce computers first, where this top floor will be producing computers only to be used in the making of supercomputers. So I don't think I'm going to be using this recipe, because if I recall correctly, it uses this quick wire, which we're actually just going to be about maximizing our production of. So this is the standard circuit board. It's 12 wire, 6 plastic for 1 circuit board. We have this unlocked, which is 24 wire and 16 rubber for 3 circuit boards, and that's actually about the same oil cost, I think. Plastic is 4 oil for 3 plastic, where rubber is basically 1 for 1. And this is the new one we just unlocked. Alright, it's 12 plastic and 32 quick wire for 3 circuit boards. Um, Oil-wise, I think it's the same amount of oil as this. This is probably less copper, but then you have to use the Caterium ore. And I planned out everything on the 4th floor using this recipe already. That is the one thing I'm unsure of. I have to see how much rubber we're going to be using. I have 3 oil refineries here making rubber, and each of them will make 30 per minute. So I have 90 currently on this belt. This is a Mark III belt, so it can take a lot more than 90. So I was originally thinking of also, you can see I have 2 levels here. I was thinking of running plastic that way, but I decided to run the plastic a different way. So these 2 plastic are hooked up with 3 over here, and they all go supply the 1st floor first, and then are belted up to the 4th floor. I can show you that, but first let's follow this line. This comes over here, kind of meets up with our copper line, which I'm also not sure for producing enough copper to supply everything, but like the 1st floor here is mostly shut down, and we definitely have enough if that's not running. You know, we basically are getting 120 out of the mine, so all 120 coming up here should be more than we're using. But if we're using 60 down here and we're only getting 60 going up, I'm not sure if that's quite enough. We'll have to take a look. Yeah, so the rubber comes in and then is... Oh, that belt is that one. The rubber is actually going over to the middle here and is going all the way up. We have the plastic coming through, and this actually also may need to be upgraded, although that's at 120. I think that might be, well, that's more than we're probably making. We have 5 plastic makers, and they make about 22 each, I think it is. So maybe it's just about spot on, actually. So this comes in and also is going all the way up to the top. Speaking of going all the way up to the top, let us do that now. And probably these stairs are close enough. So, everything's laid out and semi-connected. We need power up here, and we need to connect all this stuff. And basically we have 4 things coming up here. I think that may be all we need. I'm not... Oh no, there is one more thing we do need, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So here is the copper ore, and that should be coming into here, which will get split off into 3 smelters, 1 here, 2 over here, the copper coming along this lower line, and they will be going into these wire makers. Let's make sure these are all set to make wire, because apparently I did not set them. So we have 3 smelters and 2 wire makers each. See, these take 15 per minute. The smelters make 30. That's why we're splitting into 2. But they make 45 wire each. So that's a lot of wire. In fact, so much that we need one of these Mark IV belts. But the wire comes here, and first comes to a set of 3 cable makers using the alternate cable recipe, which uses 3 wire and 2 rubber, and that produces 37.5 cables each. The remaining wire will come this way, and the way this is designed, it should fill these up rather quickly, and then any excess cable, and we'll continue on. What I mean by fill it up, they'll suck up to like 100 wire, but then at that point only take what they need. So we have rubber coming in here, and that's going to go to here and to here, and it will be split this way and that way. So the rubber will then come this way, and I apparently missed one. So we got the rubber coming here and here. I apparently missed having the rubber go there. And yeah, I tried to leave enough room. I also wanted this to raise up so it's easy to walk and I wouldn't have to jump. So these 3 make cable. Over here we have 3 that make circuit boards, which also uses rubber and wire. These use more rubber and wire, so in fact you see I have a Mark II belt because these are going to be using 40 rubber each, sorry. And 40/40 is 80, so a Mark I belt would not be enough here. I think the whole thing, though, both sides will take a Mark II belt, if I did the math right. That's... no, it's going to have to be a Mark III belt. Alright, let's see. This is 40. 40 times 3 is 120. That's already a Mark II belt just by itself for these 3. And then these are 15 each, so that's another 45. So we need 165 a minute, and that is more than we're currently producing, so we'll have to upgrade our production. We'll need 5.5. I only have 3, which is actually behind the rock from our point of view there. So we'll have to add another 3 on this side and get some oil into them. But that Mark III belt is perfect, actually. I mean, we can't use a Mark II. I believe I also do have... Yes, I have Mark III running all the way up here, so I need to run a Mark III into here. The Mark II will be enough to go that way. The Mark I here will be enough to go this way, because this only uses 45 a minute. And that gets us our circuits and our cables, because, well, at the end of the day, we're trying to have this machine run as close as possible to 100%. Now, actually, I've already clocked it down to 85%, which I think will do 1.5 per minute, but I'll have to check it. It doesn't actually update these numbers without this running. But that means we're still going to use like 3 computers a minute, 3 AI limiters, 5 high-speed connectors, and, you know, whatever this works out to. It's going to be over 30 plastic per minute. So this needs computers. So we have 2 computer makers here, and these need 5 circuit board, well, nearly 10 circuit boards and 22 cable a minute, and I have 2 of them. The circuit board production we have is more than enough, and so is the cable, but they also get used in other places. So, like, this is making AI limiters, and it will need about 5 circuit boards per minute. Actually, with the clock down, it's going to need 4 circuit boards per minute. And a bunch of quick wire. Not 90, but, you know, it's going to be a good 70. These 2 big manufacturer machines over here are producing the high-speed connectors, and they only produce 2.5 per minute. We're going to need about 5 a minute. That's why we have 2. And they need 100 quick wire, 25 cable, and 15 plastic. So the computers need plastic. These need plastic. The supercomputer needs plastic. And that is what this line here is for. It basically will bring plastic around, you know, feed it. It ends at the supercomputer. It also feeds here, down this top line here. And it comes also past the computers here, feeding down from the top line here. And it comes here. I have it as a Mark II belt, but I'm not sure if that's enough. I do only have a Mark II belt coming up, and I mean, we're not producing it any faster than a Mark II belt, so we'll have to see. We may need to add another plastic production on, depending on exactly how much I clocked it down and the rates everything will need. Yeah, so we got the cables over here, the circuit boards here. Those along with the plastic feed into the computers. We have high-speed connects, and these also need cables and plastic, and then it needs quick wire. And then the AI limiters need circuit boards and quick wire, although only 1 circuit board. So the cable comes here, we all merge them into 1 belt. That then goes to the splitter. It really shouldn't be split evenly, but it's, I guess, close enough. What are these? These need 25 per minute. These need 22 per minute, so it's close enough. Again, things will back up after running for a few minutes. Yeah, so these 2 get half, and these 2 get half coming on this belt. The circuits kind of do something similar, although it's only 1 circuit, or 1 circuit per AI. Basically like 3 circuits per minute we need for the AI limiter. So it's basically, we take the output from this one and split it, and that will get us 3.5 per minute going on this belt over to the AI limiter production. This, I believe it's 7.5 per minute. So we got 15 between these 2, and 3 more, so like 18 coming out from that one with its half supply. And would you look, this needs 9 and a fraction, and 9 and a fraction, so we're getting 18. So I mean, really, this maybe should be on 98% clock speed or whatever it is. But yeah, that's close enough, you know. And that's everything except for the quick wire. So quick wire is needed by the manufacturer here, and it needs 100. And this one also needs 100, although they won't be quite running at 100% just because that is downclocked a little bit. And this needs quick wire, and it needs 90, although this is down clocked quite a bit, so it's, yeah, it's more like 70. What is... Okay, yeah, this doesn't need quick wire, but it's using the eye limiters and high-speed connectors. So, yeah, combined, that's like 370 quick wire. Really, though, like, these, again, aren't going to be running 100%, just because that is clocked down. So that will give us, let's say, 360 quick wire a minute, which is exactly what we're making. So we have this line here. It's a Mark III belt. Just make sure. That's only 200. Oh yeah, 270, not 370. 270. We are making like 360. Yeah, 100, 200, and then 70 over here. So that is exactly like the 270 of the Mark III belt. So we got it coming along here. It's splitting to this machine. It's splitting to this machine, and then the excess is going to the assembler over there for the AI limiters. This is taking kind of the long way around, but I didn't want to go over machines. I just wanted to go around the machines. So yeah, it is on this belt over the copper belt. Yeah, so the copper we really need, since we have 3 of these smelters, we kind of want 90 per minute. So like I said before, as long as the downstairs is off, or not really running, or only running slowly, we'll have enough copper. But if it's running full blast, we probably won't have enough copper. Alright, it's been quite a bit of intro and explanation here, but I think it's time to wire things up to power. Oh, good, I have cement! I wasn't quite sure if I had thought that far ahead. Let's put a power pole there. Oop, a little bit of lag there. Powering all these will be interesting, but I'm thinking we have more room on this side than on this side, so let's power them all from here. You'll be like our main. Get you closer? Not really. And for each of these guys, we'll have a pole for each pair of wire assemblers. Not enough room to put it here, so we'll have to put it there. And I'm gonna need cable. Let me put in all the poles while I'm here, and then we'll go grab cable, and then we'll set up additional rubber production. And you all have power. There. You can go there. And well, slid right off of that. that's good. And let's put one more there. Where can we grab power from? You know what? That line is free. Power up to there. We'll put one more pole here. And bring the power to here, and we'll go over to there and wire everything from that one. Alright, let's get some cable. I tried to make this as walkable as possible. Except where absolutely necessary. I tried to keep things off the floor. While I'm here, before I go anywhere, let's use the to-do list. We're going to want 3 oil refineries. I'm glad I did that. Why do I have a... Apparently I need to clear up my inventory a bit. Let's go to organization. I'll leave a personal box right here. So that's always somewhat useful. Don't need those. I don't need just like one plastic. Look at that. We can combine those. Actually, let's hit sort. Oh, heat sinks were also something I found on my adventure. I don't need them in my inventory because they're not used and they're not craftable at this point. Anyway, let's get a few hundred wire. I mean, it should be more than 100 wire to wire everything up. But take some just in case. Let's go up to the 3rd floor. As we got our steel pipes here. Are you? No, you're not backed up. But look, you're backed up. So we can just take 100 from you, and that should be plenty. See, these are all backed up. I should have shown the computers being backed up. And now we just have to go 1 floor down for the motors. And here's our motor production, which isn't backed up. I guess I did grab some at some point to make the oil refineries, so it's still trying to then refill itself. And while we're here, let's check in on that research because it has been way more than 10 minutes. Steel ingots from iron ingots and And I'll probably eventually get all of these. But I kind of like this stitched iron plate because I'm actually running quite low, and like we have plenty of wire production, and this will make more per minute. I think the current recipe only does 5, but I'm not going to set this up at least at the moment because hey, we're going to be using a whole bunch of copper for our supercomputers. Let's start the next set. I'm not sure if we'll actually get to that. Alright, I'm gonna set up, I guess, 3 more of these over here. My only concern is we may not be getting in enough oil at this point. But what I can do, but not now, is there were at least one, and I think a few more than that, oil spots over where we're getting oil right now. And so if we tap those, we can definitely bring more oil in. And then we just have to make a second truck to collect it and bring it to our base. Factory. And look at that, we didn't even disturb that plant. And what I didn't notice is those were all backwards. I want the output on that side, because that's where the belt is already. Those make a whole lot of noise. Alright, let's I'm gonna put a splitter on here. And one thing I've realized is sometimes when you have a conveyor on the ground, you want to put a splitter on it. It's kind of hard to notice if you're on it or not. But if you notice when you move, it's moving along the belt, then you know you're aiming at the right spot. If you're like too high or too low, you'll be placing it on the ground, then you'll notice that it'll move along the ground and not along the belt. So if you move and it's moving along the belt, you got it at the right spot. So this is moving 90, and we're gonna need another 90 per minute over there, which means this all needs to be Mark III back. You need to be Mark III. You need to be Mark III. You need to be Mark III, and it is Mark III from there. Yeah, the only question is, are we getting in enough to supply Mark III? The one good thing is that we should be with the truck, like, yeah, getting enough to fill this all with every load from the truck. So as long as this doesn't completely empty before each or between each truck delivery, then we are good. And boy, is this jetpack really useful. Sorry, Bush, you have to go. Actually, I should just put a conveyor pole there. Hopefully this will now show me the lineup marks in both oh. That's really too close. Alright, that's good. Alright, we'll go into there. Into there. And technically this should only need, these two together should only need 60, so a Mark 1 belt should be fine for there. And then we'll take a Mark 2 belt. Here. Whose clearance is it encroaching? Go out to here. Again, who's... How is it? What is this thing's clearance? Or... Okay. This is how I keep getting oil barrels in my inventory. No, not to there. I'm gonna go pretty wide this time. Alright, that looks better. No, that's too long. We'll go here. Out here, I don't really care too much about, you know, creating walkways. How did I do that? So I'm not raising these belts off the ground. It's only inside the factory where, you know, you got limited headroom and stuff like that. Alright, does this. Great, that makes it... Didn't think it'd be too steep, but... Alright, now we have to connect the other side. And... probably the easiest way is having... a merger. That was a splitter. Let's... And then down close. Alright, if we can't put the merger down there, I'm gonna put it up here just so it's easy enough to connect. Now for here, we can just use Mark 1s, because it's only going to be 30 into this one, 30 minutes each. But from here, we need a Mark 2, and we need reinforced plate, but that is actually one of the things that been running low on, because with using all the modular frames to make the heavy modular frames, we've been using up all our reinforced iron plate. Fortunately, I have the materials to make a bunch on hand. And do 20 or 25. That should be fine. selected Mark II. Go up there. Great, now we just need some power. Alright, we can pull off this pole over here. Not a problem. One power there. And one there. Alright, let's set what these should produce, which is rubber. This one here. And let's turn this on. Alright, here they all go. I mean, they're not going to go anywhere, but when we start pulling off of here, that will keep us oversupplied. Or at least supplied enough. Alright. Let's start getting everything up here hooked up. First we'll wire everything up and then we'll start connecting all the belts. So you're going to go there. And supply that. Okay, let's get the rest of these wire makers. Hooked up. Yeah, each of these should have a spare connect, just in case we need to rework things in the future. You are going to go here. You know what? I really should be using the Mark II power poles. Let me put them on my #1 hotkey. It's not #1. Here we go. That way, if we need to in the future, we can run more than 4 lines. I think the only slight downside is they're taller, which really isn't too much of a downside. There's a few times when you want to run a belt over them, but for the most part, you don't need to do that. You can just move it slightly to the side. Alright, that's all the circuit makers hooked up. Let's review. Put a Mark II pole in there. What do we... Okay, that's I guess, one of the few times where it doesn't work. I guess it was too close to the conveyor belt there. Okay, that one's not wanting to connect either. Let's pull there. You connect. Alright, and then can you connect to that? Okay, you can't, but you'll connect. Apparently you won't connect. Maybe that's something they should do. Like, if I have a power pole on hotkey 1, if I press it, it should cycle between the two types of power poles. Alright, you'll connect, and now you'll connect. I don't know who was in whose way over there, but... Okay. Everybody's powered up. Let's just make sure that no red flashing lights that I can see. Let's start hooking things up. I guess the first thing I'll do is the rubber. And we'll do a Mark III belt. Just because. Hitch there. Alright. It looks like it's going all the right places. That means... oh. For me, that means the next thing we should do is the copper here. Do a Mark II belt, because, you know, that's all we can really guarantee that we will have. Alright, this should start smelting. And producing wire. Oh. You don't have a recipe. Neither do you. Their lights are a lot lower. I didn't notice them from over here. Alright. So we got all the wire coming in. None of these should back up for very long. That should be 45. This is 45. That's 90. Well, this is 120 belt. And that's a 270 belt. That's a 450 belt. So we should see our cable being made. And our circuits being made. So we can look over here. Yeah, look at that. Cable's coming out. And we're splitting about 50-50. these guys need a ton of wire, but yeah, once these start backing up, because they're getting basically first dibs at all the wire, but they should back up rather quickly. It's up to 25. So in a few minutes, he'll be completely backed up, and then all the excess wire will come over here, and we'll get the circuits being produced at full speed. But we do have some production already. And while it's not quite full speed, it's 90% according to this, which isn't bad for starters, considering we're now semi-roadblocked. So we got circuits coming. We got cable coming. We need plastic. And then we're going to need screws. And I haven't mentioned screws yet. Because with screws, we're maybe a bit screwed. Except not completely. Otherwise, I wouldn't have started this. What was I... Yeah, plastic we can only guarantee... I don't even think we can guarantee a full Mark II belt, so... What is your... Can't afford. You know, you're absolutely correct. Let's make a crafting bench. Put it in the corner. I'm not totally backing these things up just so we have room for the walls later. Well, I guess I'll make the other 13 of these. And hope that's enough. Yeah, you need like 27 or even more. I don't know what that lined up with, but I don't think it was the connector that it was at. So, since we're down here, we changed this recipe from the original recipe, which needed the screws, to the alternate recipe, which uses concrete instead. So we were left over here with 2 machines making screws. And that's not quite enough for what we need. But it's almost. So if we throw some, we're gonna have to throw some power shards into them. But it will be pretty close. While we're here, let's grab a whole bunch of screws and, not sure where the best place to get iron plates are at the moment, but I know we do have some on the first floor. We also actually have some right over here. How high can we... yeah, not much higher than that. Alright, let's get the plastic in. Which means we have to make some reinforced plates. Actually, those go through screws like crazy. I should have grabbed more. Let's combine those two stacks there. And really. This episode's probably going to go a bit long, but, you know, this is probably the most complicated build, and we aren't even dealing with the quick wire because we did that, well, an episode and two ago. Alright. Here goes the plastic. Now we need screws, and I'm not even sure the best way to get them. But whichever way it is, it's going to be through here. Alright, let's see if what I'm thinking will work. Need belt mark 3. You know what? Let's first do a conveyor pull, because I want this at like ground level here. Oh. Need an extra click for those conveyor pulls. There we go. You're gonna go to here. You're gonna turn you. I can go right to there. That's great. I can remove that later. Actually. Speaking of removing stuff, let's get the belt in and then worry about the items. I don't want to encroaching. Whose clearance are we encroaching? Probably yours. Let's move you back a little. So I'm trying to make some sort of spiral-like conveyor belt path. Alright, you still make it up to the second level there. No, not quite far enough over. Well, that will have to be upgraded. Put this floor back temporarily. Alright, if I put a conveyor belt like that, I can now line up. There we go. That's on the belt. And I'm not seeing the line, but let's just stick that there. We can now remove that, remove that, and that. And how many screws do these want a minute each? A Mark II belt worth. So I can do a Mark II right into there. Now if we just select our Mark III again. Can I stand here and I want to go from there. You're too steep. Okay. If I... Can I... let's not do that. But if I go from here, I can go in there, and I'm sure I can do that. And you can be upgraded to Mark III. And everybody's basically happy, except this guy is floating. But what I'll do now, how much Mark II? Now, we'll keep using Mark III because I'm basically out of Mark II belt, and it doesn't really matter. I'll put a little stand there, and you look like you're okay now. What I'll do is I'll come over here. Alright, look at that. So you're backed up on cable, backed up on plastic. almost backed up on circuit boards. Same thing here. So the circuit boards should be splitting pretty much perfectly at this point, and the cable and everything else. We'll be low on screws, but I'll come back later with some power shards. Here come all the screws going up on a little spiral ride. It's not perfect, but you know, it'll do. Here they come. You should be getting like, well, you should be getting 2 screws a minute. The screws aren't coming that fast. I think we're only getting 90 screws a minute per machine. Hence why the need for the power shards. We're a little over on time. We just have one more thing to hook up. And hopefully everybody's good then. Mark III belt from here to here. We have the clearance. We, for some reason, move faster than items on the belts. But this should bring us around and get production of the high-speed connects going. High-speed interconnects. Alright, we're almost there. Alright, we're producing them. One thing I haven't checked is our power, and we're doing okay for the moment. We're getting quite close, though. Both of these guys are going, so that's being counted. You should be going. Yes. Oh, and you have 52 boards. You have plenty of boards. You know, you're only using like 4 per minute. We should be sending you 3.5 per minute. We already have 2 of the AI limiters in here. Where are those high-speed connects? Oh, here they come. We got 2. We need 3. Alright, here comes the 3rd. And the 4th. You should be making 5 per minute. Which is, you know, a little under what we, well, I don't think this is taken into account the reduced clock speed yet. Here we go. Alright. It is now taken into account the reduced clock speed. We do need only like 5 a minute, which is how many producing. But what we do need is power. And I should have thought of this previously. We have I guess I have to drag. I can't. We have these power shards in our coal production. But, you know, they could do more good elsewhere. I mean, this only produces 50 megawatts each. If they were in a machine that, let's say, was producing 3 times that, then we'd get 3 times the benefit and 3 times the extra power. So let's quickly do that. And hopefully with the use of this jetpack, that was a good guess up to the height I can get. Well, it doesn't say what, or did it say what our capacity was? I just didn't notice. 13. No, it doesn't go up until it's running. Yeah, so we have 6 of these machines. This is a little dangerous. Oh, it helps if I drag the number up, isn't it? Or doesn't it? This is a little dangerous in that we'll be using fuel faster than we're producing it, possibly. Why did those drop? Are we using more than 50? Alright. Wasn't really planning on a super long episode. Oh, look at that. I looked out and happened to have the items on hand. Alright, so now this is, I would say, in the really dangerous realm. As we are definitely now consuming fuel faster than we're producing it. But that should only be the case when our power is really up there. Yeah, because we're making, well, it's 37.5 times 2. So maybe 115 a minute. And each of these how can I tell how much you're consuming a minute? This is what consuming one every 3.6 seconds. So if we do a little math here, that's 16.6 per minute times 3. That's 50. Well, I should do times 4 now, shouldn't I? 16.6 times 4. So we have the 4 that I put the shards in are using 66 per minute if they're running full out. The others, will be using. The other 2 will be using 24 a second together. So that's 90 a minute, and we're only producing like 60 some odd. That belt should be quicker. Well, I'm out of steel. I was going to upgrade this one as well, but that's plenty fast enough now. So we just have to watch our fuel supply. do have a complete chest over here. Storage container. Which we are keeping up with. So maybe these make more than I thought. 37.5. We could use up to 90, but that's only if we're completely using our power. So we should have one supercomputer by now. Let's hopefully we make this. A little close there. We got a ramp over here. I was gonna fly up, but the ramp only works if you go this way. I should remove that other branch. Oh, look at that. We have 5. I forgot to do that. Alright, let's grab one of these. Why can't we? There we go. Before we end the episode, we can research these. So I'll stick them in. We'll see what pops out the other side next time. Research is in here. And, yeah, if something good pops out the other side, I'm sure we'll use it. If not, maybe we'll go more exploring or generally do some improvements. Because, yeah, there are things we are not producing fast enough, like, hey, those screws and other things like that. Let's see. Oh, iron wire, I heard, is really good, because there's a lot more iron and available on the map. So if you need wire and you're out of copper, iron wire works. So we'll confirm that. Let's say supercomputer, and you need 10. That'll take 5 minutes. You know, let's end the episode here, because it's gone on quite long enough. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time with more 0 to Satisfactory and crazy builds that, you know, all this floor and more, because we have screws and the quick wire production downstairs. See you then.